Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the English Learning Podcast. I'm Jason, and I'm really excited about today's episode because we're going to talk about something that can completely change your fluency level, how to think in English.
Hi everyone, I'm Julia, and today's topic is especially important for our B2 learners. If you're upper intermediate, you probably understand English very well. You can read articles, watch videos, and even have conversations. But there's still one big problem you might still be translating in your head.
Exactly. And that mental translation is the biggest barrier between you and real fluency. Many learners at B2 level say, I know the grammar, I know the vocabulary, so why am I not speaking smoothly? The answer is simple. Your brain is still working in your native language first.
Yes, and when you translate before speaking, you slow down, you hesitate, you lose confidence. Sometimes you even forget what you wanted to say because your brain is too busy switching languages.
But here's the good news. Thinking in English is a skill. And like any skill, you can train it. You don't need to live in an English-speaking country. You don't need to be perfect. You just need the right techniques.
In today's episode, we're going to explain what thinking in English really means, why B2 learners still struggle with it, and most importantly, we'll give you practical steps to train your brain to think faster and more naturally in English.
So if you're ready to stop translating and start speaking more confidently and automatically, stay with us.
Let's train your brain and take your English fluency to the next level.
All right, Julia. Before we teach our listeners how to think in English, we need to answer one important question. What does thinking in English actually mean?
That's a great point, Jason. Many learners believe that thinking in English means using very advanced vocabulary or speaking like a native speaker, but that's not true at all.
Exactly. Thinking in English simply means this. Your brain forms ideas directly in English without translating from your native language first.
Yes. Let's give a clear example. Imagine someone asks you, "What did you do yesterday?" If you first think in your native language and then translate the sentence into English, that's not thinking in English.
Right. But if your brain immediately responds, I worked in the morning, and in the evening I watched a movie, without translating, that's thinking in English.
It's about speed and automatic response. At B2 level, you already know enough grammar and vocabulary. The problem is not knowledge, it's processing speed.
Exactly. Thinking in English also means your brain starts building sentences automatically. You don't stop to think, okay, which tense should I use? You just say it naturally.
And another important thing, thinking in English doesn't mean thinking perfectly. You might still make small grammar mistakes. That's normal. The goal is fluency, not perfection.
Yes, fluency means your ideas flow smoothly. You focus on communication, not on translating word by word.
It also means your inner voice, the voice inside your head, slowly changes. Instead of planning your day in your native language, you start saying things like, "Okay, I need to finish this task first. After that, I'll call my friend."
That's when real progress happens. When English becomes a natural tool for thinking, not just a subject you study.
So remember, thinking in English means three things. First, no mental translation. Second, automatic sentence formation. And third, faster response time.
And once you reach that stage, speaking becomes easier, smoother, and much more confident. Okay, Julia, so now that we understand what thinking in English really means, let's talk about the big question. Why do B2 learners still translate in their heads?
Oh, this happens all the time, Jason. Even learners who understand English very well get stuck translating. And the reason isn't usually lack of knowledge, it's habits and mental patterns.
Exactly. For example, fear of making mistakes is a huge reason. Many learners think, if I speak without translating, I might say something wrong. So they overthink and translate to be perfect.
Yes, and another reason is vocabulary gaps. Sometimes learners know the general meaning of a word, but aren't confident using it in sentences, so they pause, translate, or search for a synonym in their native language.
Grammar can be another barrier. Even at B2 level, learners often overthink tenses and sentence structure. Instead of forming the idea directly in English, they stop and mentally translate each part to make it correct.
And let's not forget over-reliance on textbooks or memorized phrases. Many learners practice writing or reading English more than speaking, so their brain isn't trained to think spontaneously in English, it's trained to translate.
Exactly. That's why, even if you can understand everything in a podcast or article, speaking can still feel slow or unnatural. Your brain is busy switching languages instead of forming sentences automatically.
So, Jason, how can learners notice this problem in themselves?
Good question. One simple way is to pay attention while speaking. If you find yourself pausing a lot, hesitating, or thinking word by word in your native language, that's your brain translating.
And don't worry, it's very common at B2 level. The good news is, once you recognize it, you can train your brain to stop translating and start thinking directly in English.
Exactly. And that's what we're going to teach next: practical steps to train your brain for real English thinking. All right, Julia, now let's get practical. The first step to thinking in English is something I call daily inner conversations.
Yes, and this is one of the most powerful techniques for B2 learners. It trains your brain to speak English automatically, even when no one is around.
Exactly. It's simple, but very effective. You basically narrate your day, ask yourself questions, or describe things in English all in your head.
For example, when you're making breakfast, you can think, I am boiling water, I'm making eggs, I'll have some toast with butter. Just simple, natural sentences.
Or when planning your day, you can ask yourself, what should I do first? Maybe I'll start with my work emails. Then I'll go for a short walk. You're thinking in English instead of your native language.
And it doesn't stop there. You can even have mini debates with yourself. For example, you can think, should I go shopping today? Well, I need milk and bread, but it's raining. Maybe I'll go tomorrow.
Exactly. And the more you do this, the more your brain starts forming English sentences automatically. You don't pause to translate anymore.
Also, at B2 level, you can start adding more connectors and expressions. Words like however, actually, in my opinion, on the other hand, they make your inner conversations more natural and fluent.
Right. And the beauty of inner conversations is that it's private. You can do it anywhere, anytime. On the bus, in the shower, while cooking, or even before going to sleep.
And here's a tip. Try to make your thoughts a little longer each day. Start with 1 or 2 sentences, then 3 or 4, then full mini stories in your mind.
That's how you train your brain to think fast, think in context, and prepare yourself for real conversations.
Remember, Jason, consistency is key. Daily practice, even 5 to 10 minutes, can make a huge difference over time.
Exactly. So start today. Narrate your actions, ask yourself questions, and describe your surroundings. Your brain will begin to switch into English mode naturally. Okay, Julia. So after practicing inner conversations, the next step is really important. Stop translating and start using simple English first.
Yes, many B2 learners think they have to use perfect grammar or advanced vocabulary to sound fluent, but that's a trap. Thinking in English is more about communication than perfection.
Exactly. Let me give an example. Instead of thinking, I am considering the possibility of attending the meeting tomorrow, you can just say in your head, I might go to the meeting tomorrow. Simple, clear, and fast.
Yes, simple sentences help your brain respond automatically. They also reduce hesitation and stress, which are the main reasons learners translate in their heads.
And another tip, if you don't know a word, just use a synonym or describe it. For example, if you forget the word umbrella, you can think, I need something to keep me dry when it rains.
Exactly. At B2 level, it's okay to simplify. Your goal is to get your ideas across. Accuracy and advanced words will improve naturally as your brain starts thinking in English more often.
Right. So, the key takeaway here is focus on clear, simple sentences first. Stop translating every word. Communicate your ideas. Perfection comes later.
Yes, and the more you practice thinking in simple English, the faster your brain will start forming natural sentences automatically.
Perfect. That's why this step is so powerful. It reduces mental pressure and speeds up your fluency. All right, Julia. So now we're moving to step 3, thinking in situations, not just individual sentences. This is a game changer for B2 learners.
Absolutely. Many learners focus on forming perfect sentences word by word, but real conversations don't happen like that. In real life, you react to situations, not isolated sentences.
Exactly. Let's say you're at a cafe and the barista asks, what would you like to drink? Instead of translating word by word, your brain should immediately respond, I'll have a cappuccino, please. That's thinking in the situation.
Yes, and you can practice this at home. Imagine different scenarios like ordering food, asking for directions, or talking to a friend about your day and think about how you'd respond in English.
You can even make it more advanced at B2 level. Add opinions or details. For example, instead of just saying, I like coffee, you can think, I like coffee, especially in the morning because it wakes me up.
Exactly. Thinking in situations trains your brain to connect ideas naturally. You start forming mini story-like conversations in your mind instead of single sentences.
And the beauty is, when the real conversation happens, your brain already knows what to say. You're faster, smoother, and more confident.
So remember, don't just think sentence by sentence. Put yourself in a situation, imagine the conversation, and respond in English. That's how fluency really grows.
All right, Julia. Now let's talk about speed. Thinking in English is great, but if you're too slow, conversations still feel unnatural. That's why speed training is our next step.
Exactly, Jason. The goal is to train your brain to respond quickly without translating. One simple exercise is the 30-second challenge. Pick a topic and speak or think in English for 30 seconds nonstop.
For example, think about social media. In 30 seconds, you might say in your head, I check social media every morning. I like seeing news and updates from friends. Sometimes it's too distracting, though. Simple, fast, and connected.
Yes. Another tip is describing random objects quickly. Look around and say what you see. There's a cup, a pen, a notebook. The cup is blue. The notebook is new. This trains your brain to notice details and speak immediately.
You can also practice giving quick opinions. For example, do you like coffee or tea? Think fast. I like coffee more because it wakes me up. but I drink tea sometimes too. Quick, natural responses.
The key is consistency. Doing small speed exercises every day makes your thinking faster and prepares you for real conversations.
Exactly. Remember, fluency is not just knowing English, it's thinking and responding in English without hesitation. Julia, now that we've talked about practicing and speed training, it's important to warn our listeners about some common mistakes B2 learners make when trying to think in English.
Yes, one big mistake is trying to sound too advanced. Learners often think, I need to use difficult words or complex grammar, and that slows them down or confuses them.
Exactly. Another mistake is memorizing phrases without understanding them. You might know a sentence by heart, but if your brain hasn't practiced forming similar sentences, you still end up translating in your head.
And overthinking grammar is another problem. At B2, you already know most rules, but focusing too much on correctness instead of communication makes speaking slower and less natural.
Finally, some learners give up too quickly. They try thinking in English once or twice, get frustrated, and go back to translating. The brain needs repetition to form new habits.
So the key is keep it simple, focus on communication first, practice daily, and be patient. Mistakes are normal, they're part of learning.
Exactly. Remember, fluency grows gradually. Avoid these common traps, and your thinking in English will become more natural over time. Julia, before we wrap up, I want to share a real-life example to motivate our listeners.
Yes, Jason. There's a B2 learner. I know she used to translate everything in her head and hesitate in conversations. But she started practicing daily inner conversations, thinking in situations, and speed exercises.
Exactly. After a few months, she noticed a huge difference. She could speak smoothly without stopping to translate. Her confidence skyrocketed, and conversations became natural.
And the key takeaway here is consistency. Small daily efforts compound over time. Thinking in English isn't magic, it's practice, patience, and persistence.
So if you practice every day, even for a few minutes, your brain will adapt and fluency will follow.
Remember, your brain is your most powerful tool, train it, and English will become second nature.
All right, Julia, let's quickly summarize today's episode. We learned that thinking in English is about forming ideas directly in English, without translating.
Exactly. We covered why B2 learners still translate and the practical steps to train your brain daily inner conversations using simple English, thinking in situations, and practicing speed.
We also discussed common mistakes to avoid and how consistency and patience are key. Remember, fluency comes from practice, not perfection.
So here's your challenge. Start today. Try narrating your actions in English, describe situations, and practice quick responses. Even a few minutes a day will make a big difference.
And don't forget to share your progress in the comments. Tell us which step helped you the most.
Subscribe to the English Learning Podcast so you won't miss our future episodes. And keep training your brain to think in English every day.
Thanks for listening, and see you in the next episode.